Good morning, y'all. I'm just going to level with you for a minute. I'm in a very pessimistic mood this morning. I am in a very jealous and bitter mood this morning. And it all stems from being a C. There are people with CF who have very, very, very mild cases. And then there are some people who need to get a lung transplant as a young child. It just varies greatly, and no two cases are the same. But I'm kind of in a very pessimistic mood and bitter mood because I'm getting to be on the more severe side of things. I'm not getting a transplant yet. However, looking at my doctor's notes and seeing how they'll classify your severity, and seeing that they classify me as moderate to severe. That just, it's what it is. If that's what the doctors wrote, that's what it has to be. But I just get so annoyed and jealous of CF patients who have 100% lung function and they brag about it. And you know what? Good for you. Honestly, I should be really happy for you. I really should. And sometimes I am. If I really know you and you're doing that great, or if you've had a lung transplant and you're doing that great, I'm over the moon thrilled. But there's people who have had basically cakewalks of CF life, where they haven't had to do treatments or even get diagnosed until much later, not require any hospitalizations. It doesn't really affect their day to day. Like, of course, they're coughing and they do their treatments, or have to take enzymes. But when it comes down to the day to day, it doesn't affect them at the same level that it affects me and other people who are more severe off. And I've been talking with some other more severe CF patients, people that are more on my level about it. And it just comes from a place of jealousy and wishing that I could relate and wishing that I could be the one posting that my lung function was at 96% and God is good and CF doesn't have me, it'll never hold me down, all these things. And when I'm on IV antibiotics every other month, my lung function keeps dropping, my weight keeps dropping, my oxygen stats aren't stable, I can't relate. And I used to be really healthy whenever I was a kid, and I used to be a lot more positive back then too. But as disease progression goes on, I don't think it's unreasonable for your mental state to kind of get affected by it. So, like whenever I made the joke to one of my friends today, or maybe I think it was last night or today, where when I was 18 and I first started doing Great Strides Walks, which is the CF fundraiser, my slogan for myself was making cystic fibrosis my bitch. And I said, now I feel like I need to change it to cystic fibrosis has made me a bitch. Because I just, it is what it is. And I'm not proud of it. I really am not. I need to have more grace. I need to be happier for other people. But it's really hard when this is your life and this person has the same illness as you, but it's completely another way. And of course, there's more than what we see on, like what I can tell. I'm sure behind the scenes there's more going on, but facts are facts. People that have atypical CF or have mild cystic fibrosis symptoms, like you can't compare the two, and it makes me bitter, it makes me angry, but only because I'm really, really jealous. And that's something I need to work with. But I just wanted to level with y'all. I don't know why this just kind of struck a nerve this morning. And me and a few friends have been talking about it, and we've all just been like hyping each other up about it and making jokes. But, I mean, it's not a good thing, but quick story time for y'all. So last night, when there was probably about 30 minutes left of the Bachelorette and I was finishing up my last IV of the night, I decided that I would take some Klonopin just to like make sure that I slept well, and was able to get to sleep because I was in desperate need of sleep and haven't been sleeping well. But I may have taken one too many. And I say that because, well, my intentions were as soon as the Bachelorette ended, it would be 30 minutes. It should be starting to kick in. I would grab my IV for the morning out of the fridge and go upstairs, get in bed, go to sleep. That would be it. However, as the Bachelorette was ending, I stumbled across this online boutique store, Etsy shop, ran by a cystic fibrosis fighter girl who makes the cutest shirts that are CF related. They are so stinking cute. And I started going through the rabbit hole of going through every single design. And I was adding to cart, adding to cart, adding to cart, adding to cart. I had over $100 worth of stuff in my cart. And to make it worse, in the section you could choose what color shirt you wanted. And she had a list of colors. And I would, instead of just writing gray, black, white, pink, I started like actually going in. I'd be like, well, see, I really like the color of the picture that's listed, but I don't see it listed on the list. So can you do that one? And if not, then I'll do this color. But if you think that the light blue and the white's going to clash, then maybe you should do gray or black. Or if you have a better idea, I trust you, just do that. Doing that on basically all of the shirts. And I was going to go for it. I was about to just go ahead. My cart was full, go put in my payment method, and then I realized I had to go get my debit card. So I stood up to walk to the kitchen, and I just started stumbling bad. So that's when I was like, got it. I need to go to bed right now. I don't need to do this. So I just I left the cart full, closed my laptop, and went up to bed. But then this morning, I was able to contact the shop owner, and I told her the story. And she was like, dude, I was on Ambien last night. So if I were to have gotten those requests, me and you would have been a mess trying to figure this out. But I just wanted to give a shout out to the shop. Again, it's ran by a CF fighter, and their stuff's really cute. It's an Etsy shop, and the name of it's Happy Yams. I'm going to link it in the description, and y'all go check it out. Her stuff is actually really great, and why not support a CF entrepreneur, basically? But I just thought that was really funny. So now soberly, I'm about to go through and actually narrow down my choices because I can't spend that much money or else Cameron will kill me. And now I figured out what colors actually will look good. But the things that will happen to you on Klonopin or other kind of drugs that can mess with your head if you don't go to sleep when you're supposed to, trippy. Well, exactly what I thought was going to happen has started happening. The mix of 2 heavy IV antibiotics, then adding an oral antibiotic, Bactrim, on top of it is just making me so sick at my stomach. Bactrim always does this to me, so I wasn't excited when they decided to put me on it, but I have kind of no choice. So for the past 45 minutes, I've been throwing up and dry heaving. If there's nothing in my stomach, there's nothing it can throw up, but the nausea is still there to the point where I've just been dry heaving. And the idea of putting anything through my mouth is I can't do it. But usually I'm throwing up from coughing attacks, but throwing up from being nauseous is a whole nother game. So I've taken some Zofran and taken some Reglan and decided I'll try to eat by mouth for dinner tonight, but for right now, I'm just gonna hook back up to my tube feed because, yeah, I can still throw it up, but just the idea, of putting something in my mouth and having to swallow it makes me want to gag right now. Thanks, boo-boo.
Hey, girl.
You know, Winnie, for an emotional support dog, I think you cause a little bit more stress than support. You expect us to emotionally support you, don't you?
She said, I came from the streets. You need to support me. I've had trauma in my life.
You got a little PTSD like mama? We need to get you a pup therapist.
She said, how law fleas. Imagine sleeping and then a flea gets on your face. You don't live that life. That's a tough life.
Should we take her outside?
Yeah, probably.
Let her play. She hasn't gotten to play today because mom's not a good mom. I give her the opportunity. She just doesn't like to play by herself. Amazing news, guys. Cameron came home, and I was able to talk him into watching last night's Bachelorette finale with me because it was too good for me to watch on my own and not be able to discuss it with him. So as soon as he called saying he was on the way home, I was like, we have something on the agenda. Do not plan anything. And as soon as he got home, he was like, okay, what's on the agenda? It was Bachelorette. I don't want to spoil, but... Cameron, thoughts so far? We're about halfway through. No, we're more than halfway through.
It's very entertaining and not surprising. Jed, yeah, I guess that's his name, Jed. I keep thinking Jed, but Jed, he's a douche canoe.
Yep. Oh, that's.
Yeah. So, just like a douche canoe does, he's lying. He's a bad actor. Everything he says.
He's a phony.
Yes, he's a phony, and everything he says feels like it's manufactured. You know, maybe conspiracy corner. Maybe the production team is telling him what to say, causing the drama. You just never know.
So you don't think he really had a girlfriend at home? Conspiracy?
I don't know. I'm not privy to all these knots. I'm not there.
What if they sent him to paradise?
That would be juicy.
Because at that point, like, they've sent villains to paradise before. And he usually, like, is very entertaining, but, like, nothing actually happens, relationship-wise. But, no, I just don't think that production would do that and give him a second chance. But we're cooking dinner right now, and then we have to watch the rest of it, because the very, very ending was my favorite part. And I think it's going to be Cameron's, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be Cameron's favorite part, too. When they bring back out Tyler C., our boy.
Cameron just wants to know where the feta cheese is. That's what Cameron wants.
Feta?
Round feta.
Are we seriously out?
Yeah, you told me yesterday morning.
I don't think I said anything.
You did. Because I asked you, whenever we went to the grocery store, I asked you if we had feta cheese. You go, oh, yeah,
I said, oh, don't put those words in my mouth. I don't recall.
That's what Jed said.
It's very true. That is what Jed said. All it takes is a woman looking for literally 3 seconds to find the feta that Cameron was convinced wasn't here. Just saying.
I wanted you to find it because that's the type of person I am. It's a satisfaction thing that you conquered, you achieved. I
got pissed off.
That's one way.
Better to be pissed off than pissed on. You know all about that. Well, once again, we find ourselves mixing IV antibiotics again at midnight. I do every night. With all the needles and vials and bulbs and flushes. Like, I don't know if I feel more like a pharmacist or a drug dealer. I don't know, but it is getting really old really fast, having to mix them multiple times a day. But I'm supposed to finish my IV antibiotics on, I believe, this weekend, but I'm not doing better, so I'm gonna have to email my team and ask them to extend it another week until I see them in clinic, which sucks, but I just need to, I know that I'm not better. I know that I need longer. So it is what it is. But I'm just going to go ahead and finish mixing IVs and doing IVs, because that's all I seem to be doing these days, is just doing IVs and doing treatments. It's exhausting, but also really boring and really monotonous. So I'm just going to go ahead and get to that, and I'll see y'all tomorrow. Good night, y'all.